The new look Champions League draw has thrown up a number of big games. Liverpool are going to face defending champions Real Madrid, while Aston Villa will come up against Bayern Munich and they'll take them on at Villa Park. Groups are no more. Instead, each team plays 8 games, 4 home and 4 away in one 36-team league phase. Still with me? I hope so. Let's take a look then at what it threw up for Manchester City then. So they will take on Inter Milan at home, PSG away, Club Brugge at home, Juventus away, Feyenoord at home, Sporting Lisbon away, Sparta Prague at home and Slovan Bratislava away. Now, we don't quite know the dates just yet. That will be drawn on Saturday because they need to go back into the computer. Let's take a look at Arsenal then. This is what's Mikel Arteta will take on then in their league phase. PSG at home, Inter Milan away, Shakhtar Donestsk at home, Atalanta away, Dinamo Zagreb at home, Sporting Lisbon away, Monaco at home, Girona away. Liverpool, of course, in this draw as well, and they are up against old foes, Real Madrid. You may remember that 2018 final. I'd like to forget it. So they take them on at home. They're up against RB Leipzig away, by Leverkusen at home, AC Milan away, Lille at home, PSV away, Bologna at home, and Girona away. What have we got next? We've got Aston Villa, of course, Unai Emery in the Champions League draw. So they will take on in the league phase Bayern Munich at home. So Bayern Munich at Villa Park. Leipzig away, Juventus at home, Club Brugge away, Celtic at home. That's an interesting tie for them. Young Boys away, Bologna at home and Monaco away. And then finally, of course, the other British team that was in this draw, Celtic. So Brendan Rodgers will take on Leipzig at home, Borussia Dortmund away, Club Brugge at home, Atalanta away, Young Boys at home, Dinamo Zagreb away, Slovan Bratislava at home and Aston Villa, as we told you, away. So how does it all work? You're crying out to know, of course. So teams in positions 25 to 36 after the group phase will be totally eliminated in January. There's no dropping down into the Europa League at all this time around. So the 16 teams in positions 9 through to 24 will get to play in a knockout phase in February to earn them a place in the round of 16. And the easy thing is for the teams that finish in the top 8 places in the league, they go straight through to the round of 16 played in March. Beautifully explained. You've now all got it. But these two were watching the draw, Kaveh and Dougie joining me now. How good was it? And Kaveh, first of all, why has it all changed suddenly?
Well, it's changed, I think, because UEFA felt that the old format was getting a little bit stale, especially in the group phases. Now, I've got to give credit where it's due, and it's really easy when it comes to modern football to be a bit cynical and a bit jaded. But I have to say, that is the best draw I've ever seen. I think it's probably the first draw I've seen that I've enjoyed.
What made you say that?
Because it was actually entertaining.
OK.
I mean, it had Cristiano Ronaldo, who'd flown in,
yes.
Gianluigi Buffon. It had 2 brilliant presenters. It had a brilliant film, which had incredible acting by some of the most famous footballers in the world. People like Rodri were in it. Zlatan stole the show, explaining why the tournament has changed. And then when we got to the actual draw, that was brilliant as well, because gone were all those balls and glass bowls. We basically had Gianluigi Buffon picking out one team, Liverpool, and then Cristiano Ronaldo, who I have to say looked a little bit bored. I hope he's not watching this. But he was the one who was just pressing a button. He'd press a button and straight away the computer would come up with that team's 8 opponents. So it was really slick, it was really entertaining, it was fast-paced, and also it's thrown up some incredible games. For instance, a couple of years ago, the final was Inter Milan versus Manchester City. This time round, that is just a league phase game. Also, Barcelona versus Bayern, PSG versus Man City, Real Madrid versus Liverpool, PSG versus Arsenal, Bayern versus PSG. These could all be finals, but they're actually going to be league phase games. So I, for one, am totally won over. I think this is going to be a brilliant new format.
Dougie, do you feel the same? In terms of the format, how do you see it working out? Does it work out for you?
I think it's quite exciting because, to be honest, in the old format, if you won your opening 3 games, which, say, a Man City or a Bayern Munich often did, they were on 9 points with 3 games to go and there was very little jeopardy involved.
Yep.
Whereas this time round, put in your calendars the 29th of January because that is the final round of the league fixtures. On that date, it will be decided who's in the top 8, who go automatically through to the last 16, who will have to play in the playoff and who will be automatically eliminated. So the idea is that every goal matters, every game matters from the first whistle to the 29th of January. So it should make for a more exciting competition.
I was lucky enough to sit into the UEFA explainer, and actually jeopardy was the word they were using, and it feels like there is a lot more jeopardy with this phase. The cynics, not me, but the cynics out there will say Cristiano Ronaldo pushed a button, the computer did this, and all these lovely fixtures come up. What do we say to that?
That people would think maybe this is fixed. Well, it didn't look fixed to me. I mean, and the games that have been thrown up, we'll have to look at it in detail. But I don't think there'll be any teams here who will be saying, we got a really, really tough draw. Our opponents got a really, really easy draw. At first glance, everybody looks to have got a pretty sort of varied range of opponents. Cristiano Ronaldo actually was on great form. He looked fitter than ever. He looked really lean. He looked really sharp. He looked really tanned. He was in good form. He did a sort of interview on stage with the UEFA president, Alexander Sheffirin, beforehand. The president gave him a special award. I was the cynical side of me was wondering, is that why Cristiano Ronaldo had flown in for the draw? Because
he's not part of it, is he? Let's face it, he's not in a team.
No, but he was getting this award because he is the highest scorer in the history of the Champions League. And actually, one of the hosts made a joke about, are you sure you've got enough room in your trophy cabinet for this trophy as well? And then he gave a little plug to the Ronaldo Museum in Madeira. And he said, well, I'm going to put it there, and if you're in Madeira, pop in and have a look around my museum. But he was in great form, actually. And in the interview...
The museums are available.
Yeah, in the interview on stage before the draw, I thought, was it Alexander Sheffirin who asked him a really good question about, would you come back maybe in the future to the Champions League? And he didn't rule it out. He said, watch this space. You never know in football. So I think he's already got 140 goals. Don't rule out him returning and adding to that incredible total.
He's never going to rule it out, is he? Look, there were some pretty interesting ties with your European football hat on. What stood out for you?
I think Real Madrid going to Anfield, massive in Arne Slot's first season. They obviously beat them in the 2022 final as well. You've got a repeat, as Carve mentioned, of the 2023 final between Man City and Inter Milan. You've got a repeat of last year's final as well between Dortmund and Real Madrid. But Liverpool, out of all the English sides, probably have the hardest draw. Look, there's a more even spread of fixtures this time round, but they're playing Xabi Alonso's Bayer Leverkusen, who went 52 games unbeaten last year prior to losing in the Europa League final. They're also going away to RB Leipzig. There's some huge ties involving PSG as well. Inter Milan are playing both Man City and Arsenal. So it should be a pretty glorious spectacle. I can't wait for it to get going.
Yeah, it's not all about the money, is it? As well, just the whole league phase. Again, I'm not being cynical at all. You're laughing, but I'm not trying to be cynical. I mean,
You're not won over by this new format, are you?
I think I am. With the jeopardy word, it was key, like I say, in their explainer. And I do quite like that we see, a big game immediately. We've got Real Madrid against Liverpool. I'm looking forward to that one already. So I see what they're trying to do. But I guess 36 teams, it's Champions League. Is it still the Champions League?
Well, I think it is the Champions League. I mean, you made the point about money. Is this all to do with money? Have UEFA changed the format so clubs get more money for taking part? Yes, is a simple answer. Clubs taking part, I think, are going to get about 20% more money. So on average, English clubs last season got about £80 million for taking part in the competition. I think going forward, next season, they'll probably get around £100 million. So it is to do with money, but it's also to do with making the competition more exciting. I think quite a lot of these foreign owners who've come into European football have sat down and gone, when it comes to European competition, why are we not playing Real Madrid and Barcelona and Juventus and PSG every week? Why are we playing all these obscure teams that we haven't heard of? And I think that is one of the reasons why they wanted to break away and form a European Super League. And I think in response to that, UEFA had to change the Champions League to almost make it its own version of a European Super League. And actually in that film, there was a little joke where Zlatan mentioned the European Super League, and the UEFA president, Shefrin, was like, hey, don't use that phrase in front of me.
Yes, as you might imagine. OK, brilliant from you two. Thank you very much.